All right, here we are. I had to catch up with the coach, Coach Luke Travelpiece, because I'm headed to Janoski's Farms, and I got to tell you, I absolutely love this part of Western Pennsylvania. All right, so Summit Academy, you get the Big 7 win. You're undefeated, getting ready for Shenango tonight. And we're going to try to get out to this great school district at least Fridays, a couple of Fridays every month, just to get caught up with this guy. Let's talk about this school district first. Why do I absolutely love Southside so much? And I have for years. What's up with that? I just really respect and have so much respect for the teachers and administrators. And I got a chance to sit in the office a little bit and was talking to the staff. This is just a joyful place to be.
Well, you kind of hit the nail on the head, right? It starts with the people.
Yep.
Right? It's the people that are here in the school with people in the community. I'm not from here originally. Grew up miles away, and as soon as I started working here, actually interned here, it felt like home, right? Everybody's welcoming. Everybody wants to see other people be successful, right? There's a true care. There's a true nurturing when I was younger, right? But there's just a desire to see people do well and be well. And so when you have people with that kind of heart, it's pretty nice to be around every day.
It is, and this Big 7 conference has been such a part of my life, covering high school sports forever. And of course, we have the Power of Bowser Friday night under the lights tonight, and it will be Trinity at Bethel Park. I've gone to just about every school district in Western Pennsylvania. I've broadcasted, I've done videos. I know many of these coaches, even when they were players, and I was at Geneva College, his alma mater, with Gino DeMarco recently. Let's just talk about him a little bit. And I know he would be much happier if the football team was winning more games. They've got Teal tomorrow night, KDKA Plus. You're going to want to check that out. Austin Bechtel, one of my former producers, a Waynesburg grad, will be on the call. It really is such an incredibly peaceful environment, that college campus up there on College Hill, is it not?
You know what? So I'm part of a Geneva College Golden Tornado alumni,
right,
whatever it is, Facebook group. And somebody posted yesterday an old picture of Reeves Field back before they updated the field house. So there's no back gym, as we call it, right? The back gym. There was no S&E building. There's none of that. None of that was there. And so it's pretty neat to look at. We got to play up there 2 weeks ago against Beaver Falls and back home. And when we left on the way back on Saturday, I said, hey, I want to go the nostalgic way back up to Chippewa, right? But it is. It's a quiet atmosphere. It's nestled, on the river and against the mountainside, and so it's a special place. Special people. You talk about Gino. We talk to our kids. Matea's over there filming for us right now. But we talk to our kids all the time about, it's not just football. It's about what are you going to be when you leave here, right? And trying that character. And that was something that Gino, he wants to win football games, as you said, right? Winningest coach in Geneva history. But it's all about establishing young men that are go on and produce, and that's what makes him so unique and so special. And I think that's why that brotherhood is still there with all the alumni. It
is there. So you're now the athletic director, dean here as well. So tell me about your responsibilities, Coach, and we'll talk a little football.
I don't know where to start.
A little bit of everything.
It's a little bit of everything. I love it. It's a great position. Very happy, but very busy. So. I get to be in the buildings K through 12. So I was just over at the third grade lunch and giving high fives and checking in on kiddos, and then I come over here and I'm talking with the seniors, and it's just the ability to interact with the kids, right? The good times, the bad times, and again, hopefully get them to become productive members of society. It's pretty neat.
Public school teachers are the best. My children, Robbie and Eva, their mother is a second grade teacher in Hopewell. But I don't know, I like the sights, the sounds, the noise, hearing the kids. I just think it's really what's good in America, and I think people need to understand the responsibility of these teachers and what they do every day. It's absolutely amazing. But there's also the aspect of being a coach. Now look, I go back to Southside in the 80s when they were winning. Then they went through a period where they weren't. You're on a roll right now, so you're going to enjoy it while it lasts, because everything's secular in sports. But I got to ask you, did you see this coming, what you've been experiencing over the last couple of seasons?
We have, so you kind of look at, like you said, it's cyclical.
Right.
I think we have great kids, we've got coachable kids, they want to do well, and they play for one another, right? So we go back to our community, right? Unselfish. They want to see other people be successful and do well. And so our kids are that way, right? Because that's what they've experienced from the adults that they're around. And so we can see that. We see that growing, right? We had some of our kids when they're in middle school, and I'm looking down, and they didn't win as many games in middle school, but I looked at one of our assistant coaches at the time. I said, that's going to be a great football team, because I could see it in who they were and the way they played together.
Right.
And so that's special, that's unique. And then, we're also fortunate to have not a lot of staff turnover. And so the kids, from the time that they enter our program all the way up through, they're getting the same coaching consistently. They're hearing the same terminology. We're all on the same page. There's a cohesion there. We kind of laugh, and again, Matea's over there. There's times we'll we're finishing, like we're saying things at the same time, and it's kind of scary when that happens, but it's a good thing because the kids know what to expect.
The other thing, before we talk a little bit about the Shenango game, this conference you're in, obviously some smaller school districts, your facilities, I've seen it go full circle here. The facilities have gotten just absolutely incredible. But there are others who are trying to, step up that game off the field with their facilities. And I was talking to that legend that is Gene Matzook at Rochester. Any thoughts about the numbers and what we're dealing with, especially in the lower classifications, and being able to upgrade their facilities as you have here? And listen, I have been around this school district and been honored to do so since the 80s. They have done an incredible job. But it takes more than one person for sure, right?
It takes a lot of pride. It takes a lot of pride in, it starts with, when you talk about facilities, it starts with our maintenance director.
Yep.
Right? Whoever's in that position, and the last gentleman that was there, and then the new gentleman, we have a lot of interactions about making sure that we're putting our fields on display. Our gymnasium, does it look appropriate? Does it look welcoming? Does it look the way that it should? That's something you can take pride in. The people that are working on the fields, Alex Ramick works on our football field every day of the week, during the fall, during the spring. We've got Alan Diltz, who does our baseball and softball fields, and he's out there dragging it. If you look at our softball field right now, it's not softball season. The field is drugged, the field is lined. They're going to play an off-season exhibition, nice. Right? This weekend, as not part of the school, but a number of our girls are doing that. And we have parents and we have employees here, community members that care. And so when you take care of the things that you have, it's a lot easier to invest in, right? You're not going to invest if you're not going to upkeep it. But it's a group effort.
I like sports of all kinds, and I've broadcasted and covered all sports. I've done high school wrestling, baseball, basketball, volleyball. I've done it all. And I was excited to see we're going to have a Pitt women's volleyball game on KDK Radio in October. That's right, those Lady Panthers. You being the athletic director, isn't it awesome to see all of the variety in the way of sports and how it's growing at the high school level? You've got lacrosse and soccer. It's wonderful.
That's great, and there's so many opportunities, right, for our student athletes. It's hard coming from a small school. I'm a firm believer in getting your athletes to do multiple sports.
Absolutely.
It's hard when you have all these different offerings going on at the same time and getting the kids out, but the kids need to be active. They need to be engaged, right? And we've been able to grow a lot of our teams. Our golf team just won the section championship 6 years in a row, right?
Nice.
Nice. That doesn't get enough publicity. 6 years in a row.
That's impressive.
That's really impressive. So we want to get all of that information out there, because that's how you grow the team. That's how you grow programs.
I love to promote it. Somebody who I have a lot of respect for once said it's all about community, and it is, and that's why I love what you do. Now, Shenango. Tell me a little bit about Shenango. In fact, that's where Gene Matzook played his high school football from Rochester.
That's where he played his high school football. Coach Comiso, who's been our DC since 2019, former head coach up there. Right now, Jimmy Graham, he's a great guy. He's a guy I'm usually in contact with every other week, every third week, whatever. Shenango is always tough, hard-nosed, physical, and disciplined. I was just texting with Coach Struga from Burgettstown earlier this week about that. But the kids always know how to line up. They're going to come. They're going to smack you in the mouth. That's kind of what we want to do, right?
Right.
That's who we want to be. And I know Coach Matzook, he got that from somewhere too, and that's
right.
Rochester, and,
right.
and that's what they want to do. But they're always disciplined. They're never going to beat themselves. So we talk to the kids about we need to be focused each play, play in, play out. We need to execute our job because they're not going to give it to us.
It's nice going to these communities, though.
Mhm.
Even as a visiting team, you just get to see the culture, the backdrop, Main Street, the history. And to me, that's what I enjoyed the most. Nothing like a good road trip on a Friday night. But we have to mention the most famous person from Shenango, because you happen to have some wonderful pirate tickets sitting on your desk.
Yep.
It's just like golf, okay? They just tee it up and I have to do what I do. Anyway, Chuck Tanner from Shenango played there, and of course, 1979, We Are Family. Speaking of the Pirates, and I love the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, the Beaver County Times. I'm always reading whatever. They have an article today in the Post-Gazette about the athletes from Three River Stadium, how the Steelers wanted to take batting practice, and it was like they loved, Joe Green loved football, and Terry Bradshaw and Steve Blass and all these names and interaction, and Mel Blount, and how because they shared that stadium,
Right.
and how they were together more times than not. What great memories. And when you think of this place, Western Pennsylvania, it really is all about Friday nights, isn't it?
It is. You just talked about the road trips and where you going
Yeah.
to, and my brother-in-law texted my wife last night and said, "Hey, where are we going to eat before the game?" And where did we go last year when we were going up to watch basketball games? Against Shenango and Laurel, and so we remembered the restaurant we went to, and that's all part of it. And then you go in and you see your friends there at these other schools. So I talked about Jimmy. I sat with Jimmy last year during the basketball game up there.
Nice.
It's great to bring people together, people from different communities. You enjoy seeing kids be successful. You enjoy seeing people go out and work hard. We got to speak to Coach McGowan at the Round Ball Classic. He came up and started talking to me this past summer. And so it's amazing how athletics bring people together. You find that common ground. And we do. We enjoy the road trips. We enjoy that time on the bus, right? I can hear them in the back, sitting in the front. Can hear them in the back, and they're laughing and carrying on, and just being with your high school buddies, right? What's better than that?
How many years you been here now, Coach?
Ooh. Coaching, teaching, working.
Yeah, the whole 9 yards.
I think this is year 17 as an employee.
So you've seen some of these young players matriculate through life and become parents and grow up and all that good stuff.
Told you I was just over in the elementary school, right? So I had one of our pre-K students. He's waving me over, and he's talking about his brother and his dad. I'm like, well, who's your brother? Well, the teacher said he doesn't have a brother, but his dad, right? And so I'm like, without calling out the dad, I had him in class, right?
Wow.
Had his dad in class. Now he's coming up and he's in pre-K, and the dad was a great kid when he was in middle school. Great guy now. I see him sometimes dropping him off, but it's neat to see as they go from sometimes squirrely 7th and 8th graders to, and that's what I'm experiencing now, the squirrely 7th and 8th graders to parents, and seeing their kids come through.
Well, I got to tell you, a lot of that good is because of the great staff and teachers here and what they do with their curriculum. But isn't it amazing what's happened in education? Even since you were in school, but me, it'll be 50 years that I was in school this spring when I graduated. The technology and how these teachers interact and what they do and all of the things that are offered today. It's an amazing place, public education.
So when we were in school, we had to use these things called lockers, right?
Yeah.
And you would put your 3 books for the afternoon in there in the morning, and you take your 3 books and for the morning, and you walk around, and then you come in between. And now everything's on an iPad, right? They walk in and they have their bag, but everything's on an iPad. It's nice.
I need to get an iPad.
Yeah.
I don't even own an iPad. And they get these tools, but I'm telling you right now, young people that matriculate through the brick and mortar public schools in this country get an opportunity to get the greatest gift ever. And knowledge is power. And as long as you understand this gift that you're being given, this free gift, this public education, it's definitely going to set you off on the right path for a bright future. So congratulations to all those who are involved. And look, I know it's early. I'm going to try to get back as much as I can. I'm so busy. Later tonight we'll be in East Liverpool. Potter's going to be playing some football down there. Going out to Janoski's today, all weekend, of course, KDK Radio. But I can't speak highly enough of all the people that are sponsoring and helping us, like the good folks from Coons Market, the Allegheny Health Network, M7, my good friend Jim Christiana, Parmore Stores. It just goes on and on and on. These are the people that are making this incredible, including Gary Bowser, Power of Bowser, got that wonderful dealership in Chippewa. Friday Night Lights, we've got Trinity at Bethel Park, so enjoy, 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 and of course every Thursday, Quest for the Best. And it's just nice when football comes back to Western Pennsylvania.
Oh, we love it. That's favorite time of the year, right?
It is. Here he is, Coach Luke Travelpiece. Again, thank you for letting me come and visit this incredible school district today. Always enjoy my time here. We'll check back with you a little bit later today. Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy your weekend.